All right, so let's start the homework. So number one, we have three equations. I'm gonna label them A, B, and C. All right, step one, I gotta choose two. I have to choose two. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm gonna choose two, and I need a variable to eliminate out of the two. So the two I'm gonna choose, so I'm looking at this right here. So y's, right? The y's that are in B and C, technically I could use A and B also, but C has a smaller number. C has smaller numbers, in my opinion, right? So here, one's positive, the y's, one is positive and one's negative. So there's a positive 5 and a negative y. My mind is thinking that I'm going to multiply C by 5 and cancel out the y's. Now, is this correct? I don't know, but this is what I'm going to do. So B, no, do you have to write B? No, you don't, but I'm just showing you that B is going to be 5x plus 5y minus 5z is equal to 20. And then I'm going to do C. Right, 3x minus 5 or minus y plus 4z is equal to negative 5. And I'm going to multiply C. Right, I'm going to multiply C times 5. Right, I'm going to distribute the 5 to everything. So it's going to be 5 times 3 is 15x. 5 times negative y is negative 5y. 5 times 4 is 20z. And then 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. So now, when I add these up, the y's are going to cancel. Right? So you always add. After you multiply through, you always add. 5 plus 15 is 20x. Right? 5 minus 5. These are going to cancel. That's what I wanted to happen. Add again. Negative 5 plus 20 is 15z. And then 20 plus negative 25 is negative 5. So here is one of my equations with y eliminated. All right, because I chose B and C, I must choose the third one that I didn't choose yet. So now I'm forced to deal with A. And I need to choose one of the other ones, B or C, in such a way that y is going to disappear. So I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to use C again. I'm going to use C again. So A is 6x minus y plus 3z equals negative 9. And then I'm going to choose C. Right, what I'm thinking is that this is negative and this is negative. So I'm just going to multiply by a negative, one of them, and then it will cancel it out. So 4z is equal to negative 5. Again, I'm going to multiply by negative 1. So that means I'm going to flip the signs of everything. When you're multiplying by negative 1, you could just change the signs. Right? Change the signs of everything, though. It's the opposite. So now when I add, I'm going to get 6 minus 3, right? Because I'm adding 6 plus negative 3 is positive 3x the y is going to cancel. That's what I've designed this to do. 3 minus 4 is negative 1z. 9, negative 9, plus 5 is negative 4. So here is another important piece. So both of these, so I just double check, right? I got an x, I got a z. I got an x, I got a z. These are going to come together, right? These are going to come together in step 3. So 20 x plus 15z is equal to negative 5. 3x minus z is equal to negative 4. Okay. Now I have to add these so that they cancel out. So what I'm looking at is z. One's positive and one's negative. I just need the bottom to be negative 15. So that means I'm going to multiply the bottom by 15. Right, it's already negative, so that's half the work done for me. So when I distribute, I'm going to get 15 times 3. That's 45x minus 15z is equal to 30. So negative 60. Right, 15 times negative 4. So when I add them together, 20 plus 45, 65x. 15z and 15z cancel. Negative 5 plus 60 is negative 65, which is nice. Because look, when I solve for x, I divide both sides by 65. And I see that x is equal to negative 1. So now I immediately plug that back into one of these. I'm going to use the second one because it has less, like it has smaller numbers. 3x minus z is equal to negative 4. So x is equal to negative 1. I'm solving for z. So negative 3 minus z, negative 4. Feel free to pause the video and work this out for sure. I'm adding 3 to both sides. So negative z is equal to negative 4 plus 3, which is negative 1. Well, I want just z. I don't want negative z. So I divide everything by negative 1. And z is equal to positive 1. So there's my second variable, x and z. Now, for the last step, I have to take x and z and go back all the way to the original, the OG. And I have, what do I have? I have x and z. So I'm going to choose, doesn't matter which one I choose, but I'm going to go with, let's go with B. I like counting by fives. So let's go with B. So this is going to be 5x plus 5y minus 5z is equal to 20. So when I plug in x and z, so negative 1 and 1. So 5 times negative 1 plus 5y, what we're looking for, minus 5 times z, again, which is 1, is equal to 20. So this is negative 5 plus 5y minus 5 equal to 20. Oh, you can't see. So on the left, we're going to get negative 5 and negative 5 is negative 10. 20. So plus 10, plus 10. So 5y is equal to 30. And then cancel or divide both sides by 5. Y is equal to 6. So my XYZ solution is x is negative 1, y is 6, and z is 1. So you have to be very careful that you don't make a mistake. Chances are, I don't have the key, but hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. If I did, feel free to comment. But if you make a mistake early, you'll never know. you'll never know. And it's almost impossible to find. So if you do find yourself in a situation where you made a mistake, it's best to just start over from scratch. Don't try to make any corrections. Let's see another example. Okay, number 2. I'm looking at A, B, and C. So we always label them. And I want to choose so that a variable goes away. Immediately what jumps out at me is x's, right? X's have opposite, one's positive, one's negative, and they're both ones. So I'm going to choose A and C. So A, negative x minus 5y minus 5z is equal to 2. Also, a big mistake is going to be, a common mistake is during the rewrite. Make sure that you're copied it exactly. And I say that knowing for sure that I'm like the worst person that'll copy things down wrong. Okay. And what's crazy is that here the 5s are going to cancel also. I didn't even see that. But that's okay. You commit to one and you just run with it. So when you add these together, this is going to go away, make 0. Y's are going to eliminate, making 0. This is going to be negative 6z, which is 2 minus 20, so negative 18. And then solving for z. So we're going to get 3. So z right now is equal to 3. That's kind of interesting that we got z already. That don't normally happen. But let's see if we can get another variable to disappear. Let's see. All right, if we choose the one that we didn't choose, right, B, so we're kind of forced into B. So 4x minus 5y plus 4z is equal to 19. All right. Now I have to choose A or C. I think I'm going to choose C, because looking at B and looking at C, these guys are opposite, right? One's negative and one's positive. So that's what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose C. So x plus 5y minus 4z is equal to negative 20. So when we add, I don't need to multiply by anything because the coefficients on y, they line up. So this is going to be 5x. Cancel. 4 minus 1 is 3z. And then 19 minus 20 is negative 1. Okay, so here we have 5x plus 3z is equal to 1. Okay, when this is the case, right, step 3 is the same. Your answer from 1 and your answer from 2, from steps 1 and 2, you combine them. So this is going to be z is equal to 3. That's kind of nice. And then 5x plus 3z is equal to negative 1. So in this case, we can substitute, right? We can substitute z to figure out what x is. So this is going to be 5x plus 3z equals negative 1. So 5x plus 9 is equal to negative 1. 5x plus 9 is equal to negative 1. I'm going to subtract 9. 5x is equal to negative 10. Divide both sides by 5. Negative 2. So x is equal to negative 2. Oops. So here's the second piece of the puzzle. Okay, we have a z and I have a x. So I got to take, so technically all this right here, this was, all right, look, check it out. All of this was step 4. And then this x equals 2 business, again, that was the result of step 4. Right, plugging in. All right, now I'm going to take x and z, plug that into one of the originals, and then hopefully a y will come out. Well, a y will come out. So I'm going to choose, let's choose C. If I choose C, because this is x plus 5y minus z is equal to negative 20. All right. So I'm plugging in x and z. So x is negative 2 plus 5y minus z, which is 3, is equal to negative 20. Combining on the left, 5y, negative 2 and negative 3 make negative 5, equals negative 20. I'm adding 5, so 5y is equal to negative 15. Divide both sides by 5. This is negative 3. So y is equal to negative 3. So my xyz solution, x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to negative 3, and z is equal to 3. All right, next example. Number 3. Again, A, B, C. All right, I'm looking. I see. All right, so right here, this jumps out at me. Right, positive 4, negative 4. The y's are going to cancel if I choose A and B. So if I choose A, 4x plus 4y plus z is equal to 24. I choose B, 2x minus 4y plus z is equal to 0. Now you could choose whatever you want. Like you don't got to do what I do. But you know, I try to be efficient. So when you add these together, we get 4 plus 2 is 6x. Here we have cancels. That's what we wanted. Z plus z is 2z. And then 24 plus 0 is 24. All right, here's an important piece. Now, because we chose A and B, I now have to choose C. There's no way around that. So C is 5x minus 4y minus 5z equals 12. All right. From the remaining A and B, I need to choose one so that y eliminates. So I'm going to choose, so look, negative 4. Is it A or is it B? What do you think? It's A because it's positive 4. So I got to choose A. So I'm going to write that down. 4x plus 4y plus z equals 24. Right, I had to choose that one. Well, I don't have to choose anything. Right, I'm deciding to choose A because the y's are going to cancel nice because the y's canceled in the previous step. So I'm locked into letting the y's cancel. So when I add, 5 plus 4 is 9x. Cancels, that's good. Negative 5 plus z is negative 4z equals 36, right? 12 plus 24 is 36. So here's my second important piece. And we double check, right? X, Z. So we're good. So now both of these, we transfer down into step number 3. We stack them and we line up the variables. 6x plus 2z equals 24. 9x minus 4z equals 36. And here we're comfortable, like we know how to solve two variables in this manner. We look and see the thing that jumps out at me is that these are z is one's positive and one's negative. So I just need to make the top times 2, right? The top times 2. So when I multiply the top times 2. When I distribute 2 times 6, I'm just going to rewrite it. 2 times 6 is 12x. 2 times 2 is plus 4z. 2 times 24, 48. So when I add 12 plus 9, 21x. The z's cancel. That's nice. 48 plus 36. So 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1. 4 and 4 is 8. Is 84. Oh, and this is nice. Look, when I solve for x, isolating x, I divide both sides by 21. This is going to be 4, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 21 goes in 84 4 times. You all have a calculator probably, so you can back me up on this. So x is equal to 4. So that's step 3, right? Solving for one variable. The next step, immediately we take what we found and we plug it back into one of these equations. I'm going to choose, it doesn't matter which one you choose. I like the original with smaller numbers. So 6 times x plus 2z equals 24. So I'm plugging in x equals 4. So 6 times 4 plus 2z is equal to 24. Oh, this is nice because look, 6 times 4 is 24 plus 2z equals 24. Do you already see it? I subtract 24 from both sides. This is actually going to make 0, right? 24 minus 24, so 2z. 2 times something is 0, right? Z is equal to 0. So far, x is 4, and z is 0. All right, the last step, we take x and z and plug into one of the originals. So x and z. I like b. But you always try to choose the nicer one. So b is 2x minus 4y plus z equals 0. So 2x, so 2 times 4 minus 4y, what we're looking for, plus z, which is 0, is equal to 0. This is nice. 2 times 4 is 8 minus 4y equals 0. Minus 8 minus 8. So negative 4y is equal to negative 8. Divide by negative 4. Oh, it's positive 2. Y is equal positive 2. So y is equal to 2. So x equals 4, y equals 2, z is equal to 0. 420. Okay. Last one. Please don't let this one be crazy. Hint, can you solve this in less than 5 steps? I mean, I feel like we've done this. Oh, less than 5. So each one of these has been done in 5. Why do I always got to do crazy stuff on the last one? So this is A, B, and C. Right. They always got to do crazy things on the last one. Something that I'm noticing right away. I don't know if this is gonna help or not, but notice in A, it's all 4s. I can factor out a 4. Right? I can divide everything by 4. Right? If I divide everything by 4, I don't know if you want to count this as a step, but if I divide everything by 4, I'm gonna get x, right? Because this is cancels. This is cancels into negative 1. So x minus 1, y. 4's cancel, so plus z. And then again, the 4's cancel, making negative 1. This is equals negative 1. So you could do that, right? If you can notice that you can factor out something, like if they're all even, in this case, they're all divisible by 4, this might help us out. Because right away, the thing that jumps out at me are the y's, right? One's negative and one's positive. So I'm going to choose A and B. I'm going to choose A and B. So step 1, this is x, so A minus y plus z equals -1. What did I say? B. So this is 4x plus y minus 2z is equal to 5. So when we add, the y should cancel. So 4 plus 1 is 5. X cancels. This is going to be 1 minus 2. So 1z, -1 plus 5, +4. Okay. Step 2. Because we chose A and B, I have to choose C now. I have to. So C is -3x minus 3y minus 4z is equal to -16. Okay. I'm going to choose A for the simple fact that A is just easy to work with. Right? It's just x, y, z. X minus y plus z is equal to -1. Okay, so let's think about this. I need y to cancel, right? Because y canceled here on the right, or on the left rather. Y canceled. So y is what I have to use. So if I use, well, okay, so this is -3. This is -1. So I need this to be a +3. So I got to multiply the bottom by -3. Because a negative and a negative is a positive. So when I multiply -3 times through, I'm going to get -3x. This is going to be +3. So +3, because negative is a positive, so +3. And then this is going to be -3. And then this is going to be -3 times -1, which is +3. All right, so we just kind of cheated a little bit and just wrote over it as opposed to rewriting. So now when we add this together, we're going to get -3 plus -3 is -6. Y's are going to cancel. That's what we wanted to happen. And then -4 minus 3, so -7z is equal to what is this? -13. Okay, we have an x and a z. All right. We're going to stack these, both of these in step 3. So 5x minus z is equal to 4. Minus 6x minus 7z equals -13. All right, I'm going to multiply. So I'm looking, right? So z's for sure. Negative and negative, well, not for sure, but if I multiply the top by -7, that'll make these cancel. If I multiply the top by -7, I'm going to rewrite this underneath. So I'm not, well, we can squeeze it in right here. This will be -35x positive 7z. And then this is equal to -28. 7 times 4 is 28. When we add, so -6 plus -35 is -41. The z's are going to cancel. So this is going to be 38, 39, 40, 41. So -41. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. How Lucky are we. We divide everything by negative 41. This is going to be x equals 1. So x equals 1 is a piece. For step 4, we immediately plug it back into one of these. I'm going to use the top. 5x minus z equals 4. So 5 times 1 is 5. Minus z equals 4. So minus 5 cancels. So negative z is equal to 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. Dividing everything by negative 1 because we want just z. Z is equal to 1. So going back to the 3 originals, right, the OG ones, I'm going to choose A for sure. I'm choosing A because A is x minus y plus z is equal to negative 1. Right, so always choose the easiest one. So now we just plug in. X is equal to 1. Y plus z, which is 1, is equal to negative 1. Okay. Combining, we have negative y plus 2, right? 1 plus 1 is 2. Minus is equal to negative 1. Minus 2. So I'm doing the math already in my head. Minus 2. Negative y is equal to negative 3. Divide by negative 1. Then we're going to get y is equal to positive 3. Okay, so putting it all together, x is 1, y is 3, z is 1. So I'm curious, what does the hint, like, can solve this in less than 5 steps? Okay, so it can be solved in less than 5. Well, I solved it in exactly 5. I'm curious to see how it would be solved in less than 5, but hopefully this helps someone out. Good luck. Catch you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think.